Welcome to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis R. Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist, here on the Intuitive Therapist podcast. I'm so glad y'all are here with me today because I'm going to talk with you about something that is always, I feel like, my hope is that it's important, but something that I feel like people often miss out on when they're trying to create and manifest in their life. I was just talking the other day with my friend, and I was telling her that, people can say mantras all day long. It's almost like somebody says, well, if, you say to yourself, I am with the love of my life, and you say it long enough and a million times a day, or I'm rich, or I have my new car, and you say it a million times a day, people somehow believe that that's going to bring you what you want. And I told her yesterday, I said, you know what? You could say something a million times and until you're blue in the face. But unless you have a vibrational alignment with it, you're not going to bring it about. That's the misnomer about mantras. So I want to talk with you about a frequency today because I feel like this is one of the most important frequencies to align with to not only create whatever you want in your life, but also to bring in amazing people and opportunities into your life. So in my opinion, there are just a few words in the English language that massively impact the quality of our lives. So I want you to take a moment and think of some of the words that you believe have a massive impact on your life. A few words that I think about are love and hate, compassion and cruelty, selfish and selfless, yes and no, just to name a few. When you hear these words, what comes to your mind? How does each of these make you feel? What thoughts do you have when you focus on each of these words? And how do you think these words contribute to the quality of life that you have now or have had in the past? Did you know that there's a vibrational frequency inside your words similar to the way your voice has a particular tone? And that the music of your tone influences how people react to you? Did you know that the vibration and frequency inside your words dictates how the universe perceives your intentions? Did you know that the vibration of your words reinforces the feelings that you have about something? Imagine that you and a colleague are just walking out of a staff meeting. Both of you have had the experience of hearing the same information said in the same way. Yet both of you have had two entirely different experiences. Your colleague walks out of the meeting describing the meeting as a bit disappointing, but you leave the meeting saying it was absolutely ridiculous, and you utter some additional expletives to further describe it. Can you feel and hear by this example how words can weigh on the type of experiences you have? Words carry not only a vibration, but also an energetic weight to them. Some words lay heavier on our hearts and minds than others, spurring on feelings of relief or of stress. So in previous podcast episodes, I've mentioned how the universe gives us what we vibrationally align with, and that it doesn't matter what kind of mantras you say on a regular basis or for how long. If you truly don't believe in what you say, the belief that you ultimately vibrationally align with will beckon the universe to deliver more of that to you. For example, if you spend every day saying, everything comes easily and effortlessly to me, but actually you believe that most things in life are struggle and they're hard, then you'll vibrationally align with the thought that everything is hard, and so everything you experience will be difficult. Today's topic is about how to use the frequency of the word yes to truly change your life. I mentioned a few words before, and I want you to hear them again, and then measure for yourself how expansive or limiting they are. Love, hate, compassion, cruelty, selfless, selfish, yes, and no. You can literally feel the difference between these words, can you not? When you live your life in such a way, y'all, that you energetically align with the words like love, compassion, selfless, and yes, the quality of your life takes on a whole new meaning. What does yes mean? It means affirmation. It means agreement. It means positive confirmation or consent. Now, this is a word we use every day, but when you think about what it really means, it's pretty amazing. I remember a few years ago, I went to listen to a person speak, and at one point, she began to share a philosophy about how she creates and manifests in her life. It was so simple, and I'd forgotten it. But once she mentioned it, it was one of the most powerful reminders I've ever gotten. She simply said, with a smile and enthusiasm, yes, yes, yes. So whenever she thought about any part of her life, especially any part of her life that she wanted to improve, or maybe there was a part of her life that she felt maybe kind of anxious or excited or even worried about, you know what she did? She said yes and expected great things to happen in her life, and they did. And I haven't forgotten that. There's something magical when you have a yes way of living. Now, I'm not talking about saying yes to anything that would cause you harm. No, no any negative issues, negative people or situations, or to please or placate people, because that would really be counterproductive, right? What I'm talking about is that you learn how to use the word yes and the frequency of yes in your life to create what you want. The vibrations that we align with within ourselves, they're forces of nature. And I wish everyone knew how powerfully creative our vibrations are, because if everyone really understood the power of what we vibrationally align with, then not only would negativity in people's lives almost completely diminish, but everybody would be manifesting and creating new, insanely abundant realities all of the freaking time. The world would be a magical place to live in, truly. At least that's what I believe, right? A simple shift in energy can change your life completely. Now, not only would this shift change what you immediately experience, but also what you can create for yourself and others in the future. We're all divine beings, part of the powerful force that lies within us, the same force that creates the beauty of our earth and the infinite universe in which we live. Consciously and unconsciously, we're either aligned or not with this frequency, the frequency of yes. The yes frequency is all about the now. And in order to be in the now, you have to leave the past and the future where they are and be here right now, in this moment, as we speak. Every time I've said yes to something, I felt both exhilarated and it's felt a little scary too. Last year I had such an experience, and I'll tell you what it is. Last year I submitted a proposal to be a breakout speaker for the annual Georgia National Social Work, the annual Social Work Conference. I was comfortable with that, so I said, okay, hey, I'll be able to present to a small group of people, get the word out about what I do, show my book, talk about that. Okay, so I didn't hear anything, and I didn't hear anything. Meanwhile, when I'd submitted my proposal, I also sent in a copy of my book. So about 3 months later, I'm checking my email. I'm thinking, okay, well, I haven't heard from them, so I guess I'm not going to be doing it at all. They weren't comfortable yet with my kind of work. So I opened my email, y'all, and the director asked me to be the plenary speaker. That's basically the keynote speaker on the second day of the conference. So in that same moment, I was like, oh shit, scared me. And then all of a sudden I went, hell yes. I was so excited. And that decision was life-changing for me in so many ways. Not only was the room filled up with 400 of my colleagues and peers, which was the largest attendance for that conference to date, but you could hear a pin drop in the room when I spoke. And I was only given an hour, y'all, to do this talk. Nobody moved, and they let me go for an extra 15 minutes beyond my scheduled hour to talk. And based on what it looked like from the stage, everyone was wrapped up in what I said. It was insane. So when you say yes to things in your life, it's meant that you have faith in what the universe will bring to you, a faith that says, by saying yes to this, I'm going to experience something bigger and better than what I could have ever imagined. Had I not submitted that proposal, y'all, I would not have been invited to be the feature speaker on the second day. And I had so many people come up to me after. They said, thank you so much. We needed to hear somebody like you because I've been hiding my gifts. Only a few people know. So thank you for paving the way for me. And I felt so blessed. And recently I began to listen to more podcasts, right? Like, I think that's so funny. Here I am. I have a podcast of my own for about a year and a half, and I've rarely listened to them. But it was time. Spirit guided me. So I've decided to say yes to listening and learning from others through that modality as well, just like you're doing right now. And it's been amazing. When you say yes to people, opportunities, and new ways of living, you create a vortex to experience amazing things in your life, welcoming in new and exciting things. Saying yes literally opens up a field of possibilities and chances for you to expand beyond measure, to test limiting beliefs that you have, to consider another person's perspective, to learn new things. One of the things that I often teach my clients is how to ground a feeling in your body. I call it a stance. If you're driving a car and you can't get up to do this exercise, please give yourself the gift of doing it when you can. But for those of you who can do this exercise right now, follow my directions and see how you feel. Notice the difference. So I want you to stand up, shoulder lengths apart, and imagine yourself in the most powerful posture you can think of. For me, it's hands on my hips, the Wonder Woman thing, heading face forward, back straight, eyes open. Next, I want you to choose a power move. This can be a punch to the sky, a fist grab, bending of the elbow, or a pounding of the chest. Not too hard, y'all, though. I don't want you to hurt yourself. Now I want you, in your power stance, as you repeatedly say yes, each time you say yes, I want you to increase the volume and intensity and feel your chest opening up to the vibration of yes, knowing that by saying yes repeatedly, you welcome in whatever new people, experiences, and feelings that the universe has to offer you. So get in your power stance and know which power move you're going to make. And every time you say yes, you do your power move. And you do it with more gusto, more intensity, and more frequency until you literally feel the power of your yes in your body. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Practice this every day, several times a day for 1 week, and see what begins to change in your life the minute you align with your yes. Now that you've connected to the frequency of yes, what I want you to do is be mindful of the language that you use every day to describe yourself, your life, your circumstances. Whatever they are, bless everything you experience. Change whatever heavy words you use to lighter frequency words. For example, go from I hate that to, yeah, that was kind of disappointing. Go from she's annoying to, well, she kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. From nothing ever works out for me to, how can I use this experience for my benefit? I know there's something good in this for me. Notice where you get stuck and call in the yes frequency to help you open up to allowing newness in your life. Say yes to helping others. Say yes to new opportunities. Say yes to doing things differently in ways that you haven't done them before. Even if doing things and saying yes might take you into new and uncertain territories, and they may make you feel nervous, I promise you, beauty and wonder is on the other side of yes. So rewrite your story and begin the narration with a resounding yes. I hope you'll put this in practice today, y'all. If you like this and you like the other podcasts, please hop on over quickly to iTunes, subscribe, rate and review my podcast. The more people that I can get in touch with my podcast, the more people can benefit. Thank you so much to everybody who's written to me, who's called me, who's let me know that you feel enlightened and encouraged about the information that you get. And if you want a reading, let me know. Give me a call at my office, 404-558-3971, or send me an email to Janis@janisrcohen.com. You can find out more about my services by visiting JanisRCohen.com. As always, I wish you a blessed day, a wonderful week, and always live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist with Janis R. Cohen. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review at iTunes.